third fastest in the world this year. And on the outside, Gudaf Tsegaye, World Junior Cross Country Champion and African Champion over 5,000 metres. A brilliant lineup. 10,000 metre runners stepping down to the 5,000 and 1,500 metre runners stepping up. Speed against strength meets over 12.5 laps. The women's 5,000 metre final gets underway, and the reigning Olympic champion goes straight to the back. Sifan Hassan, out of your picture, just ahead of Tsegaye as Eilish McColgan comes round on the outside. Tsegaye's completed the set of global medals over the 10 with a gold here, having got a silver in Doha and a bronze in Tokyo. Gudaf Tsegaye, 5,000 metre bronze last year, and Sifan Hassan, a silver in the 1,500 metres. Maybe you would say out of the three Ethiopians, Tsegaye with that raw speed that almost lived with Faith Kipyegon in the 15, maybe she is the favourite out of the three Ethiopians. But the Tsegaye was magnificent and found wonderful form to outsprint everyone at the end of the 10,000. Pretty steady here as they come round towards the home straight. Tanaka will be itching to hit the front. A really gutsy run to qualify, and it won't be long before she thinks, hang on a minute, we're basically tiptoeing here, somebody's got to do something. It's the Tsegaye who hits the front. She's having a full-on conversation with Gudaf Tsegaye. All three of the Ethiopians conversing. It'd be fascinating to get some close-up shots of that, just to see. It's almost as if they're out for a training run. And the biggest problem when a big pack run like this, Dan, they really are jogging. It's almost ridiculous. Someone could easily fall at this stage.
Yeah, they're clear out into the third lane, into the fourth lane, as McColgan comes into picture. What was interesting, though, was to see the Ethiopians up front having a chat, saying, hey, here's what we're going to do, strategizing during the race.
And at last, they have come up with their plan, and it's Gudaf Tsegaye leading. The Tsegaye is the tallest of the three Ethiopians. She's in third, with Gudaf Tsegaye in second. And now, Caroline Kipkurui of Kazakhstan, formerly of Kenya, seventh in the 10,000 metres. She comes through and tucks in behind Gudaf Tsegaye with 10 laps to go. It's not single file, but now at least we've got a proper race on our hands. It was almost as if everyone was waiting for one of the Ethiopians to decide to go. When they were jogging round to the start of the 1,500 on the back straight on the previous lap, they were almost at a complete standstill. And still on the right of picture, in the orange vest, no move from Sifan Hassan. Great work by the camera crew there to show us Cranny in the centre of that group. The big striding Eilish McColgan just towards the back. That's the gap from first to 15th. That's Gudaf Tsegaye, the World Junior Cross Country Champion from Aarhus. What a great race that was on a brutal course in Denmark 3 years ago. She now comes up onto the shoulder of the former Kenyan, Kipkurui. And Tsegaye having another conversation here. They almost look like they're smiling, talking to each other. It's far too slow for Tsegaye. Sifan Hassan has attached herself to the back of that group. Jess Judd is the athlete on the right of picture with the bobbing head and the ponytail. She's become detached from this group. And Eilish McColgan of Great Britain is also just at the back of that group of around about 12 or 13, with Sifan Hassan just in front of her. The three Americans running all in a line on the inside.
Well, as they get to the 200-meter mark, they're into a stiff headwind, and I think it's probably pretty smart that they almost go single file right there. That is where the wind comes right past the tower and onto the front of that back straight.
Tsegaye looking around. It's Kite on the curb. Tsegaye leading, Gudaf in second. Kite third. Seum, the other of the Ethiopians, now in fourth. And how often have we seen this at the front of global distance races, male and female? The might of the two East African nations, separated by the vast, stunning Rift Valley. If you are a fan of distance running, both Kenya and Ethiopia are stunning countries to visit. There's some fantastic trails. You can get off-road and run in wonderful countryside. And you really feel the sense when you run in Kenya and Ethiopia. You really do feel that you're somewhere magical when it comes to distance running, even if you're just jogging along at 7-minute miling. There are runners everywhere of all abilities, some wearing tracksuits, some running in bare feet. Distance running is part of life in Ethiopia and Kenya, and it's a contributing reason, but not the only reason, why the Ethiopians and the Kenyans enjoy so much success on the global stage, all of which, of course, is underpinned by incredible amounts of hard work. Yes, there is a certain advantage to being born at altitude, but without the graft that goes along with it, the performances wouldn't come. The longer this race goes on, you suspect the more it plays into the hands of Gudaf Tsegaye. Just getting an update on the statistics of Kip Karui. She is an excellent runner. Just on the right of picture there, she's the Kenyan, but she represents Kazakhstan, so she has that rather distinctive pale blue and yellow vest. Tsegaye has got brilliant raw speed. That's why she was almost able to live with the pace of Faith Kipyegon in the 1500 metres. Very steady again now, Dan. Nobody's really prepared to really go for this, and they'll have to at some stage because there's only 5 laps to go.
Well, it's interesting, yeah, it looks like a game of cat and mouse right now, but what this is doing, though, is it's also allowing a number of other athletes just to stay in this race. You'd think that the Kenyans and the Ethiopians could just actually pour it on and break away from this pack. But they just continue to lead one another here. Gudaf Tsegaye back and forth, just taking turns doing the work.
Side by side. And now, Letesembet Gudaf decides to try and inject some pace. She's had a look over her events so far, and there'll be a big cheer as they get towards the bell, but there's a little bit of work to do yet. Now Gudaf goes to the front. Surely she's going to strike out now. It's fractionally quicker. They had a 71, that's a 70. And Gudaf Tsegaye in second place is having a look at the big screen. And she won't necessarily like what she's seen because all the big contenders are right behind her. And we haven't really spoken about Sifan Hassan, the Olympic champion. She did an unprecedented double in Doha, winning the 1500 and the 10,000. No one's ever done that, and won a medal at the 1500 after winning the 5 and the 10 last year. She was off the podium in the 10,000 metres, but with 800 to go, she's just at the back of that group. 3 Ethiopians, but 2 Kenyans are there, and the athlete from Kazakhstan. Surely this is playing into the hands of the 1500-metre specialists, and if Sifan Hassan can rediscover her explosive speed, maybe she can get herself on the podium here after being bitterly disappointed in the 10,000 metres. Remember, the 5,000-metre Olympic champion has had a hard year, and she started her season late, but Hassan responds. Tsegaye leads from Gudaf, Beatrice Chebet, and Kip Kemboy right up there. Kite has drifted off the pace, the third of the Kenyans. It's anyone's race now as they come round with 500 metres to go.
see teammates like that getting up front, talking to each other, but it looked like they had a plan. You see, Gudaf would just block Chebet. She would just surge ahead, get in the front, and then she would slow things down. But Hassan had enough of the playing with about a lap to go, and she needs to create a little space for herself because she has such a long stride and long legs. This move to the inside, a tricky move right there, onto the rail. And I thought, oh no, here goes Hassan. She's going to ruin this for the Ethiopians. Let's see what she's got left.
It was a mistake by Tsegaye just to drift towards the outside of the lane. I think she did it because Chebet was quite close to her. At this point, Dan, they were running so close together that it is a miracle none of them tripped each other up. And that was the point at which Hassan's lack of fitness began to tell. And Gudaf Tsegaye just wound it up and wound it up. Chebet did really well to respond to the extent to which she did. The former World Junior Champion and World Cross Country Champion. But Gudaf Tsegaye savoured every single second of that moment. So often it hasn't been her turn to finish on top spot. But she got it right tactically. And she at last collects the global gold she's striven towards for years. At 1500 metre speed, saw her home over 12.5 laps. Thousands of miles in the bank, and that's why it means so much. Gudaf Tsegaye continues a great week for the Ethiopians, taking the 5,000 metre title. Excellent silver for Beatrice Chebet, and Dawit Seyoum makes it 2 Ethiopians on the podium. The 10,000 metre champion Letesenbet Gide finished in 5th. Schweitzer didn't manage to finish. Tough running for the Brits, the Japanese and the Americans.